Hey guys, I'm Kyle from the Drafting Room, where we curate and design some really awesome garages and home solutions for Obsessed Garage. Today we're going to talk about our custom wood tops that we get from Blue Tree. Over time, you're going to get scratches, you're going to get nicks. You know, think of like, you know, your granddad's workbench, you know, in his shop out back or whatever, that's got all the screwdriver marks and, you know, sawtooth hits and stuff like that. It gives it character over time and it starts to look really good. Well, if you have a top that's super stained and has like a different color, like a blue or a, you know, like this kind of grayish top that we used to do, it's not natural anymore. So as soon as you gouge that, now the natural wood is exposed and it looks, you know, really bad. So with this new coating that we're doing, the Rubio Monocoat Pure, it really just gives it a natural look. It still protects the wood, keeps it from yellowing and warping and doing all the things that you don't want it to do, but it just looks natural and looks awesome. So here we have Walnut. This is a really high quality, top tier style of wood that is very hard wearing, and it's gonna look really cool on a lot of different cabinet types. This is probably my favorite, and this is probably gonna be your favorite too. Most people are gonna do the Walnut. It's, you know, all of these tops are pretty much the same price, but the Walnut just has a premium feel to it. You know, reds and browns throughout. It's really nice, and the natural finish of it just really shows with the new coating that we're putting on it. This here, the one that has like these scratches from us moving it around and doing some stuff, this is hickory. We've not spec'd out a full array with this yet. And I used to kind of not really like the two-tone look about it, but it's really grown on me. I kind of like it now. So this has become our kind of like our second or third choice, that if you want to have something that's a little bit more of like a traditional workbench, or maybe kind of a little bit more of that kind of butcher block look, this is what you would go with. Again, it's a hardwood. It's going to be very hard wearing. It'll wear well over time. All of these tops, you'll be able to sand them down and refinish, you know, after a few years if you wanted to really refresh them. So this is hard maple, just like our original tops that we first started with. But now we're pretty much just going with a natural finish. So this is what the natural wood looks like, but with the monocoat, the Rubio Monocoat Pure finish on it. This one is actually pretty marked up from us messing with it and doing, you know, moving it around and doing some things, and you can't hardly tell. So I think, you know, over time we've found that these really wear very nicely. I'm really excited about these tops. I want to see more of these on some cabinet arrays. We've done a bunch of the walnut so far. We've not really done much in the hickory or the maple yet. But I think, you know, going forward, we're really going to be speccing these out for a lot of different garages. One thing you got to be mindful of, though, a normal top that you get with your cabinets is going to ship from the cabinet manufacturer. So like, you know, your stainless tops or whatever for your Sonic Tools cabinets. So when it ships from the manufacturer of the cabinets, it's all shipping together, so you kind of save on shipping. These come from a different supplier. They have to be like super boxed up and protected so that they don't get damaged during shipment. That adds to the cost in shipping, and then they're coming from a different manufacturer, obviously, so then that, you know, adds to the shipping costs. So you kind of just have to factor that into the price to know that you're buying a premium piece that is really going to be like kind of what sets your cabinet system apart from, you know, the rest of your garage, or add that kind of warm touch. You'll notice in a lot of our garages, they kind of have that monochrome gray black look that we design, which is cool, very clinical. I like it. But it kind of is nice to have something to kind of warm up the place a little bit. That's why Matt did, you know, the walnut in the garage, and Helen, I think the hickory would really warm up a place a lot. And then even the maple would do a really good job of adding like another element to the space that would otherwise be kind of cold and sterile, if you will. All right, so let's talk about the construction of these a little bit. The way they put these together is, obviously you've got, you know, a bunch of boards that are laminated together and glued, and they also put these metal brackets in here that help with keeping the boards straight, keeping them from twisting and cupping and all of that. It's never going to be perfect. So that's one thing you got to remember when you're buying a wood piece from Kansas City and you live in Seattle, or you live in Arizona, or here in Florida. Like, it's all different climates, so you got to expect that there's going to be a little bit of maybe shrinkage or expansion or whatever with the wood. So just kind of be prepared for that. It's not usually going to be a big deal, but just know that you may be off a millimeter or something like that. Matt had to deal with it in the Helen garage a little bit. One of the other things that we can do as well, you'd have to kind of reach out to us for a custom solution, but say you were doing a really long top, you can spec it to where they will do a field joint. So they can't ship a 20-foot long top, but we can ship 3 like 7-foot long tops, give or take. So what we can do is they can build one big giant top, or at least match up several tops and then cut them to where they match up perfectly. They can go ahead and dry fit that joint, put some biscuits in there, and then also they call it a field joint, where they drill a slot in here between the two pieces and have some holes where they can put it's like a bracket thing that goes down in, and then you can tighten it to where it'll pull the tops together and lock everything together. So that way when you flip it over, now you've got a nice seamless top. There'll be variations in the grain of the wood because it's most of the time not going to be one continuous piece that they cut. The seam itself will match up really well and make it seem like it was just nice and seamless and made that way from the factory, which is really cool. We can also do that with a 90-degree or 45-degree angle if you wanted to do a 90-degree L. If we wanted to do like a seamless transition in an L cabinet, we could do something like that, but they could also do a field joint. Because if you say you shipped an 8-foot by 6-foot L-shaped desktop, you're going to be spending more in shipping to get that thing than the actual top itself costs. It's crazy how expensive it is to ship something like that. So doing the field joint allows them to go ahead and put it together at the factory, take it back apart for shipping, and then you can just easily put it back together once you have it in your facility or in your house or your garage. And still be able to get that awesome seamless look. So it's a pretty cool option that we can spec out for you if we need to do something custom. So just reach out to us if you want to do that. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the custom wood tops that we get from our supplier in Kansas City. These things are awesome. They're very premium. It's something that you're going to have for a long time, I think, and it's really going to set your garage and your cabinet system apart from just this typical stainless top. So I think it's something that you're really gonna enjoy, and I think you're going to want to get.